So you've never ever played or heard of this game before, have you, Noodle?
I have never ever heard or played.
We're gonna let the next part be a surprise.
Now, I will tell
this
you,
game is wild.
There is a fun bit of trivia. This is one of the few NES games that was released in America before it was released in Japan. So, yeah, that's kind of a random thing. But
and as an aside, actually, this is one of the few that is weird in like how selective the censoring is. Most games would be like be like just everything will be censored. This one, it's weird.
Mark,
and you'll
walking
see
home from ball game. He looked up and saw a bright star. That's Mark, by the way. He has an M on his shirt.
You know, as you do.
While he stared at it, the star got bigger and bigger. The beauty of the star made his eyes moist, so he didn't notice that the star fell and landed right in front of him.
I think you'd notice that even so.
It wasn't a star, but a monster.
Mark, you're kind of dim.
Mark quickly asked, "Who are you?"
I think we'll figure that out.
Who are?
As I said,
I'm kind of hearing the Stinko Man voice. Who are you? I'm Bert. What's up?
Well, not me anymore.
I can't tell if Mark just doesn't care about life or if he's just so chill. It's just like that meme where like the dude meets the alien and the alien's like, "Aren't you surprised?" And he's like, "Man, I got a lot going on right now."
We want to overthrow the government. Can I help?
I'm looking for help. Evil monsters are out of control in my world. Come and help me. I'm afraid to fight the evil monsters. Don't worry. With your weapon, you'll be able to destroy them easily. This is a lie. This game is redonkulously hard. This isn't a weapon. It's a bat.
But wait, Bert. All you needed was this weapon. Get a professional baseball player.
Anything is okay. Anyhow, let's go! Bert grabbed Mark's hand and flew away. What's your name? Mark. Mark, my planet is dangerous. So, we must act together. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, okay, there's gonna be some kind of, like, cooperation mechanic? How? Like this. Then they fuse together.
As was the, tradition of the time.
This is how Mark's adventure began. So, yeah.
Now, remember what I said about selective censoring? They didn't change that. That's just the way that the transitions are.
Also, I can do the worm. Me.
Digimon World 1 is very different than I remember.
So, the entire layout is the level scroll left to right, and you can explore them freely, and you have to find these doors. What's in these doors? Boss fights! Hello, baby!
This is probably the best part of the game. The bosses have a lot of character.
Oops. Not doing so hot. It's been a long time since I played this game, and this game's hard on a good day.
Doing pretty good.
Mark can reflect projectiles with his bat. And, I think right now we're kind of in that sweet spot where he's mostly going to aim right down the center. And I can kind of duck anything that's unfortunately aimed. Now, I can beat him up with my bat, but honestly, this is kind of the safest way of taking care of this guy, because otherwise his projectiles can just very suddenly just like, whoops, I was shooting that angle, now I'm shooting this angle, deal with it.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, if I remember right, he's one of those ones that his hitbox is deceptively larger than what you think it is.
So now we're playing as Bert.
You know,
Bert-
as
Bert
you do.
fires lasers out of his face.
As you do. And, you know, the butt plants. You know, once again, as you do.
Oh, also, Bert can fly. And if you're like, well, that's interesting, but what would be the point of playing as Mark? There isn't one. You play as Bert till you take too much damage, whereupon you revert back to Mark, and then you're stuck in mediocrity. The only advantage that Mark has that Bert does not is that he cannot reflect projectiles. That is literally the only thing Mark can do that Bert cannot. Now, it is entirely possible to grind out health. That's dumb and boring, and we're not going to do that. If I die, I die.
Now,
it's my own fault. Whoop, time's about to run out, and... yeah, here looks good, I guess. Oh. The warning is a little longer than I remember. Whatever, we made the best of it. More or less.
I'm surprised that the transition didn't happen.
I'm sorry, I'm dead.
Yep.
So... What do I do to defeat this boss? Nothing. He's dead. That's it.
Yeah, there... And if you think, wow, that's really dumb and random, oh, baby, you haven't seen anything yet.
I was about to say, the game has only just started. Don't get ahead of yourself just yet. Don't count your dead dinosaurs until they die.
The real question is, what makes these other monsters so evil? Because it really seems to me breaking into their houses and killing them.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Noodle, they really don't go into that.
It's not important.
This
So maybe Bert's the evil monster, because he abducted some random child to break into other monsters' houses.
There is a fan theory that states exactly that, actually.
That wouldn't be the weirdest thing. Honestly, I mean, because really, you literally, only this and the ending, which, as we have stated before, raises more questions than answers. Never mind the sudden tonal shift that just happened.
Please don't pick on me. Okay, you want to, like, play chess? Oh, jeez.
Oh no, he's bullying me! Oh no, he's gonna make me play an NES game! Oh no, we're having bullyception.
I'm really bad at timing this guy's jumps. I just kind of gotta do as much damage as fast as possible, basically. You know, this is a Halloween game. This is definitely a Halloween game. And we have the key. Now, here's an important thing to know about keys. Once you have them, don't take them for granted, and just go to the bleeding exit. I say this because one of the levels, and I forget which one, I think it's level 5 or 6, if you get the key, there is another boss you can fight and subsequently defeat. If you do that, it re-trips the flag to get you the key, and you lose the key permanently, rendering the game unwinnable. Don't do that.
This is a Nintendo. It's an NES game. It's a Famicom game. A TI-83 calculator has more RAM than the processor for this game. So... And that's the thing that really kills me about things, the people who are like, what was Game Freak thinking about the original Pokemon? It's like, guys, it literally... Yeah.
They were able to add Mew into the game because when they removed the dev tools for Pokemon Red and Blue, they got enough space on the cartridge that they could add in one more Pokemon.
Yep.
That is literally... Yeah, they stuffed those cartridges to the gills.
Which is also why, like, if you start messing with things with, like, people are like, oh, if you mess with the old man showing you how to catch Pokemon, that messes with, like, 16 other... Yeah, that's the reason why. Because it literally is stuffed to the gills with, like...
Oh, yeah.
They...
You can hit your head by jumping.
Ow! Ow!
This does not do damage, it just plays a little animation that shows that you are indeed hitting your head on the ceiling. Bat, bat, bat. Sweet moves, Thomas.
Isn't that a Junji Ito in a villain monster?
Like, I remember in an interview, let's mix it up. Okay. I hate this fight. I hate this fight. You know what? I'm just going for it.
The bosses in this really are the entire reason why you want to play this game, because they're not. They probably have more character than anything else in the game.
No doubt about that. And there's so many weird things about this game that I don't even know where to start. But yeah, I saw this interview with Junji Ito, and he was like, people were like, someone was asking him like, oh, is like the whole like fish coming on land to kill people, is that like nature's revenge? And he's like, no, man. Like, I was thinking, you know what's scary? Sharks are scary. But you know what makes them not scary? They can't come on land. So then I was like, what if sharks had legs? And it's like, oh my god, that's terrifying. And that's literally how he came up with the idea for one of his books. He was just like, man, sharks, man. If they had legs, they'd be like the scariest things imaginable. And I'm like, that's a fair argument, actually.
I could think of a few other things that are pretty scary, but you know.
I've dated things scarier than that.
You dated a shark with legs?
She was a very nice person when we first met. Empty.
You know, I'm gonna, just for all the Snek lore, archivists, just remember that.
Just gonna write that one down.
Yeah, you wrote. So what type of shark was she then? Was she a tiger shark? Was she a basking shark? I bet she was a nurse shark.
How did you know?
So all you Snek fan artists out there.
How many weird monsters am I being shipped with? Like, we have at least a spider, a Wendigo, the terrible pigeon costume girl.
Oh, were you there for her stupid costume pigeon girl? There, Noodle.
Not there for that.
I
There's
Let's Play on Chroma Squad.
And one of the latter bosses is just this girl who is like she's weirdly well muscled, and all of her moves basically involve doing wrestling moves on the Chroma Rangers.
Look out, baby! Here I come. Were you ready for a tempura shrimp, man?
And so,
why are they all calling you baby? It doesn't make any sense.
maybe Bert is very attractive by the monsters go. I don't know.
Bert might be a very handsome and sought-after bachelor. You don't know.
Oh god.
Now he's an onion ring!
Punch the onion ring!
You beat up the tempura shrimp and it turns into an onion ring.
As you do.
As tempura shrimp are wont to do.
As was the style of the time. But, yes, and so you beat her, she goes, ow, and then she proceeds to flap her arms and flies away. At which point, the professor goes, well, that just happened.
Like, what else can I even say at that point? It's just, yeah, that was a thing that just occurred in my life.
So yeah, my reaction was, yeah, I ship it.
That's gonna lead to some interesting possibilities. Fan artists, please go easy on me. I'm just one Snek.
I have to
He's
say,
also-
that if, my theory about Bert being evil and everyone saying that he's super attractive is correct, that means that he's basically the Ted Bundy of Monster World.
You know,
The
that would
iron,
not be the strangest thing that happened in this game.
it's funny because we were literally talking about the next monster that Snek was going to do for Monster Rancher, which was an evil. Basically, it's not Chucky.
Yeah, it was literally called Chucky in Japanese. They changed its name to Raki in the international release.
But the thing is that Snek has the very poor decision making. He asked me to, hey, Tutaku, what am I gonna do? And so it's like, okay, what versions of Raki are available? And there's this one which I wanted to say looked like Child Predator Barney.
Yes,
I'm
it's
like, we need to call him
/ dragon.
Ted. We need to call him Ted Bundy because see, he's like a little toy doll. So it's the irony of he's named after a serial killer, but he's a little doll.
Empty.
Like my soul.
Nah, I can't steal Manly Badass Hero's shtick.
He's empty. Like the Taku soul.
Yeah, Ditaku wishes he was, edgy and detached as he wishes he was. He's just like, man, I'm so cool and detached, and I wear a beret, and I'm just like, bruh, just wearing a beret does not make you cool and detached and artsy. And he's like, you don't know me, and I'm like, I've known you for more of my life.
Oh no,
than
you're
I've
not saying
known you.
You're saying I'm not cool and detached. I'm just simply French. Hold on, no.
And then Nitaku was French. And very sad about
No.
it.
Wee pee pee.
Wee pee pee.
You guys are literally 12.
Yeah, angle of incident matters because, like, where it hits your bat. I thought I was supposed to be able to go through this. Is this where I need the key? I didn't miss any rooms, though. How can I not have the key? Anyway, the game is open exploration. You're not locked into progression if you're past a certain point. It's not Super Mario Brothers. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but Super Mario is the best game ever.
I respectfully
I'll say
disagree.
this. I'll say this. Noodle talking about our screen time being extremely limited.
Time to do some damage.
Yeah. It was difficult for a young young Noodle, to play Super Mario Brothers and get good at it when we literally had like an hour a week that we could play between the three of us.
So if you're wondering why a wishing well is throwing plates at me, I wish I knew the answer to that. I'm afraid I have no answer to give.
I thought they were coins.
I think they're supposed to be coins, but they sure look like plates. Yeah, you beat the crap out of me.
Maybe it's a
bad showing.
Kappa? Question mark?
Maybe?
Japanese monsters are weird.
They kind of are. It's like, oh, this is the, super demon par excellence. If you, say if you are respectful to him, he will kill you in a very respectful way. And if you're disrespectful, he will kill you in a very disrespectful way.
It's like, is there a way for him to not kill me?
No.
Actually, yes. Actually, yes, there is. What you need to do is you need to proceed to be very vague and evasive, at which point they won't kill you because they're not sure how to react to you.
You're so non-committal, they're just like, man, it's not even worth it at this point.
Yep.
Like that's a funny thing with, have you guys heard the myth of the Slipmouth woman?
Yes, that's literally what I was referring to.
Yeah, it's like you need to either throw candy at her or just be really vague or just go full Jordan Peterson and be like, well, it depends on what you mean by beauty, man. That's a complicated question.
Oh no, I didn't realize that was you. I didn't realize. Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, Jordan Peterson is Canadian. He is kind of like Higsby.
I'll take out of context for 500, Alex.
So if you think about it, huh?
If you think about it, huh? Beauty is kind of hard to define, and it really matters a lot on what you're defining as beautiful.
No, Mark, don't kill Sans Undertale. Do it. Kill him. Kill him.
He deserves it. He's a tool.
Alright, so everyone, you need to remember that, Snek secretly wants to play Undertale.
God. Hey guys, you want to play an RPG with padding? No? Please stop playing RPGs that have padding. You're encouraging really bad design choices. Yeah, but the game reminded me I had feelings. No, it didn't. Move it. Asterios has jokes.
Okeanos was the best chapter of part 1.
Ah! I thought he didn't go all the way to the sides. Ah, you suck! Why are the cows so cute? Like,
you had the hot breakfast Drake.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just saying. I mean, what?
Hey guys, here's the Knights at the Round Table. By the way, we all have superpowers. Like, more than regular superpowers. Like, ridiculously overpowered superpowers.
But why, though?
Hope you have a team that's specifically designed for fighting out in the open sun against a male opponent, because you need it. Either that or Billy the Kid. Because,
Hey, guys, did you know gun beats sword?
Is that so? Yes. And, ordinarily, Fate's own rules would prevent me from being a hero because I used firearms, but... Gosh darn it,
doesn't care.
I'm just so cute that, people are okay with me.
And Calamity Jane was a magical girl.
Yep.
Come on, I see you up there.
I am legitimately surprised that Jesse James has not been added to the game.
Seems like a missed opportunity, right? They're doing all these other Western heroes. It's like, yeah, they freaking have you go to Lubbock, Texas, and then they have you walk to California, and they say it takes like 3 days, and I'm like, bruh, that's not a 3-day trip. That's a bit longer than 3 days, is what I'm saying.
That's maybe like a 3-day drive, guys. Come on.
I mean, in their defense, you're literally being piggybacked by,
My legs are asleep!
I think your legs are made out of stone.
Got a condo made of stone, Hakeem Tut.
Oh, you want to know what's funny?
What's that?
We consider ancient Rome to be, like, old.
Correct.
You want to know what's crazy?
What's that?
And gonna make you think about, the, like, how impossibly old the Great Sphinx is?
Do tell.
I know this one.
Okay, go ahead, Noodle.
Cleopatra lived closer to us than she did to the creation of the pyramids and the Sphinx.
That is
And
correct.
that while the Sphinx was still around, while the Sphinx was made, mammoths still walked the earth.
That is correct.
So this game has infinite continues, a la Castlevania, I believe. Now, that being said, this game is also incredibly cruel and doesn't care. You might notice how that my health bar technically can go all the way to the end of the screen. But they're not going to fill it to the end of the screen. The reasons.
Shinzo Abe is there looking down from heaven and going, well, we're not going to let small children, get too complacent, are we?
Let's not get carried away now. Move it. Like, why are the cow sprites so cute? They just didn't, like, run me over. Like, I can't clear him. No, I can. His hitbox is only his body. That's good to know.
I'm just saying, in the, Snek, the Snek, defense tower simulator, with, hot moms in your area. You need to have the hipster cow monster. It needs to be a reference to that with the cute little cows.
She shoots out little cute Harvest Moon looking cows. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys. I want to run by something that came to you today. I was at my day job, and a thought occurred to me. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, like a huge, burgeoning subgenre of games that desperately just want to be Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo with no additional actual upgrades. AKA, they just want to rip off the success of Stardew Valley, but put way less effort into it, which is saying something, given that there wasn't a whole lot of effort in Stardew Valley. And now that I've lost half my subs...
The irony of Hiro Mashima teaming up with Bandai Namco in order to make basically what amounts to Rune Factory 6...
While there is a Rune Factory 6 in production.
Yeah, in case you're not aware of that, Noodle, because I know you really like the Rune Factory games, Hiro Mashima and Bamco are making their own Rune Factory game.
And it's a monster-raising sim at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And...
It
is very
looks
Hiro Mashima.
Which is to say, there's a lot of character aesthetics, shall we say.
Yes, that's a good euphemism for what this game has. And, you know... So I was thinking, it's like, there's all these games that just desperately want to recapture their childhood nostalgia playing the very first Harvest Moon, and never any of the others, because, you know, that would require innovating on the game that they played when they were 6. So I was like, man, this level is really freaking hard, I think is my exact words. But then... Okay, so my thought was, you know, what would it be? What would it be like if I dabbled in this genre? And I was like, you know, I literally have an alien planet full of cow people that would be perfect for this kind of setting. And I was like, I could just take everything I had for this weird, you know, this weird alien world that exists on the cusp simultaneously of the 1800s in the modern day, and make my own not Rune Factory. And then I was like, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
There's so much you could do with that, especially if you're actually, you know, going full into the fact that if this is what I think it is, you have access to the world tree.
Yes.
So
yes. I was thinking, you know, there could be other Alamals, and, you know, I am always looking out for my bros. I'm just saying that, you know, buff werewolf waifu girl would definitely be in the roster at some point.
Well,
because, you know,
I should do.
You know what? You ship me, I ship you. This is how we Tomo Bro.
Oh, did I tell you about E-chan that happened?
E-chan, no?
E-chan. I got a text the other day from a lady who was... You're pink now. Why are you pink?
His palette changes depending on what level you're in. Also, his firing pattern changes depending on level. Sometimes he'll actually shoot 2 bullets, so I don't know what really makes the difference there.
Don't you love old games that do that? That, like, really weird
color palette changes for really no reason.
Color palette changes, and like just like, oh yeah, you jump like slightly higher, or like, yeah, you shoot 2 bullets instead of 1.
Just, you know, mess with your muscle memory.
Yeah.
Die, Asterios! Ugh.
Oh, I die. Thank you forever.
Correct.
But, no, I mean, if you're asking, you know, hey, Taku, is that a good idea? The answer is, I mean, hey, man, I was on board with Snek, you know, MILF Tower Defender. So, of course I'm going to be on board for, you know, Snek, you know, Rune Factory. I would completely be okay with that. I love Rune Factory. Even the really bad ones that, I mean, aren't technically bad, they're not as good as the ones that came out.
I was about to say, you mean Rune Factories 1 and 2?
Yes.
That's a weird thing, where, like, when I was playing through them, I was like, oh yeah, Rune Factory 2 is definitely the worst of the two, and revisiting them a couple of years ago, I was like, no, actually, I like the characters in 2 way more than I like the ones in 1, so, like, make
I'll say this, 2 might have better waifus, but Mist is such a weirdo. that she's kind of compelling. I mean, as much as you dislike her, I think that she's, like, if someone literally wandered through poison gas to give me a potato, I might have to consider lifing her up, if only for the fact that, like, you know, I'd be terrified to have this woman not on my team.
That's fair. You know, there's something to be said for that. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something to be said for that, and that's what counts.
Also, you know, if she can just wander through poison gas like that, imagine what her children can do.
I was about to say, must come from tough stock if she can do that.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't, you know, I would be playing, you know, Pokemon with my own children, but I might
Not
do
Pokemon,
that.
you'd be playing Fire Emblem Awakening. Now, I will say...
I need to make sure that my kids get both Soul and Luna.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. The professor here presented me with a thing about, like, this one comic about this guy who actually, like, settled down with a nine-tailed fox. And he's like, okay, Ditaku, what would you do if you had a nine-tailed fox as your wife? And they're like, well, it depends on how magical she is, because if she has the usual power set, then I'm probably just gonna wield my children like Pokemon and just do, like, casual, petty tricks on people.
Oh, you're going the Jordan Peterson route again. It depends on what you mean by...
Depends on what you mean, man.
That's a complicated question.
That's a complicated question. What do you mean by casual, by domestic terrorism?
Because when it all comes down to it, we're just chimpanzees full of snakes, man.
That's how it be.
Who's to say that the leaves that you know, cast illusions on to make them look like money aren't actually money if we all agreed that they were money? I mean, isn't that what fiat currency is, man?
Oh, so we're libertarian, Jordan Peterson. Okay.
I mean...
We're taking this to the next level.
So when
I'll
you consider...
suck all your blood.
That is a terrifying bedbug. Oh no, it's a terrifying bedbug with Jesus. Or wait, are those crosses?
X's. Those like they're X's. They're not like... The cross has one bit that's slightly longer and one that's slightly shorter. These are just X's.
Technically, depends on what type of cross. Those could be Greek crosses.
Okay, libertarian Jordan Peterson, it depends on your definition, I get it.
It depends on what you know, whether or not we're referring to Orthodox Christianity or Latin Rite.
Yeah, okay.
Libertarian Orthodox Christian.
This revelation also gave rise to our own personal nine-tailed fox showing up in my Shadowrun game, who has become this weird, chaotic, neutral element who really just sees the runners as a means to her own entertainment.
See, and the funny thing is that she's named after this Moe Ukiyu character, and I was supposed to make her into, like, oh, she's this helpless little girl.
She's not a helpless little girl.
No, she's not a helpless little girl. And apparently she's one of the few people that actually likes Disney Star Wars.
She likes Disney Star Wars.
Oh my
and
God, how terrifying.
And she also attempted on at least 2 occasions to Kensho Ditaku's Shadowrunner. Why are you doing this, Scorpion? Why do you enable the cycle of violence?
Because I woke up and chose violence.
The Scorpions were a one-hit wonder, and now I'm angry about it.
I'm gonna rock you like a hurricane. You're right. Let me guess. You're more of a White Snek fan? Cause here I go again on my own.
Yeah, right. There was a dumb meme I saw like that, where it's like, there's no one here to listen to my new White Snake album with, so here I go again on my own.
Speaking of white snakes,
I am a slowpoke. Ah, that's refreshingly honest of you, Mr. Samurai. Maybe you need to listen to some Smile DK or something.
I'm a little monster.
That was refreshingly simple. After getting my butt rocked by a minotaur, that was kind of a refreshing change in pace.
It was to be perfectly honest, it was less the Minotaur and more the cute,
The cute innocent
Cow.
cows.
Wow, look at that Snek. He's got some jumps.
He jumps.
So, I have to ask, Professor.
Yeah?
The Snekberg own b-ball team.
Yes. Now, it may surprise you, because you might be like, oh, well, obviously Snekberg's sports team is going to be the Sneks. No, actually. Our basketball team is actually made up of the wild dingoes.
I mean, yeah, that would be very weird. It would be like, some random
Meow.
American football play, some random American baseball team being called the Yankees or something. Just like,
Or the
so weird.
Like, really, it'd be more like having a baseball team where your mascot was the humans. It's just like, it would really please no one.
I mean, well, let's put it this way. At least, they'd have a ready-made mascot with Hugh Man.
Hugh Man. Bad kitty. Alright, that was annoying.
In other news, Deadly Cat Queen proceeds to break up with Snek over the fact that he kept repeatedly beating the cat.
I mean, the cat did not give me much choice, interest of fairness. Oh, apparently I get a score for deflecting projectiles.
And watch as Sir Dash proceeds to, to pull a paralysis demon on you because of this. So you just wake up with a little white fluff ball in your chest.
He actually does that. He likes to climb up and loaf on my chest and then push his wet nose on mine. He's like, hey, you should pet cat.
It's funny, we actually used to have a tortoise shell that would do that to Noodle. And it's funny because she, there was this one... Oh.
She was normally a very, very special in the head cat, but
so she
she realized...
Cat, then.
Yes.
No,
but
she was a little bit
other
more special. Yeah.
She was afraid of pants that were, like, on the floor. Like, just like, if people weren't wearing pants, she would be afraid of the pants type things.
I see.
But she was very special in the head, but she was very, very strongly motivated by food. So she discovered that I was always the first person in the house that was awake in the morning. And so she would decide, in the interest of getting breakfast as soon as possible, that she would loaf on my chest every single night. Every single night, I'm a side sleeper, so I would fall asleep on my side, or I would try to fall asleep on my side, and she would go over and push me over onto my back and lay down on my chest. And then I would wake up, and I would see her right there staring me at the face. And if I tried to say anything, she would reach out and put her hand over my mouth.
No, Pooga. No dreams. Just food.
No words, only dreams. And then she'd smack me in my nose, hop down, and then run to the kitchen so that I could feed her.
Clearly, because her work there was done. She said what she needed to. And if you did get the message, well, that's clearly,
That's not her.
your fault. Yeah.
Yes, she was a very, very special cat. Very
Mhm.
No words, little Pugum. Only foods.
Mhm.
Did you think we were done with
Oh.
the weird cognitive whiplash? We are not.
Glad to know that we're fighting, we're in Scotland now. We're fighting Nessie.
Or we're in Joe and Mac, one or the other. How many hits do you take?
So you just left? I just left. Man, remember when JonTron would, review games?
Would actually talk about games instead of just trolling local businesses in New York?
I mean, I still enjoy his stuff.
Empty.
Forgot about that.
The tiny fish with the huge shark fins, tied to his back.
Yes.
Yeah, this game is definitely going to keep you on your toes. You were expecting
As
a
I said-
generic NES platformer. You are wrong.
As I said, I still like JonTron, but yeah, I don't know. I liked it when he reviewed video games, even weird ones.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind, actually. And I'll be honest, lose the other half of the subscribers I still have hanging around. I never did like Game Grumps at any point. It was best when it was JonTron, but it was never great.
So, alright, so in our countdown to no subscriber special here, that we're going to have to... Come on, we gotta do some more, hot takes. Gotta do our hottest takes.
We're going to do a spicy spaghetti round 2.
Yes.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
You suck. Empty. Let's see. Taylor Swift was never country music and was never good music. I don't understand.
I never understood the appeal. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, I always was kind of under the impression that, she's basically, relationship kryptonite. Because you think about it, yes, she's attractive, but, she
Let's
clearly...
not get carried away now.
Alright. She is not, the one monster from the Goonies, okay?
Okay, that's fair. Watch my dance. So, are you guys curious as to how we beat this boss? Alright, I'll give you 3 guesses.
You can't possibly be inferring that this actually is you just to watch their dance.
You just watch their dance. If you hit them, it actually extends the timer. So you literally are just supposed to watch them dance.
Oh, you're not supposed to dance with them?
You kinda can. You don't really have a sidestep dance. You just kind of do the worm. And we won. Brr.
Wow.
Yep. Brr, brr, brr.
But, yeah, so I don't understand why people continue to agree to date her when it's because there's only one situation and that's gonna happen, and that is she's gonna break up with you and she's gonna write
a song about
another...
how much you suck and it was all your fault.
Even though she is the one,
The single
the one...
commentator to all of these.
Exactly, yes. So it's I'm the only, constant in all of these relationships, and they always just explode in my face. What could be wrong? It couldn't possibly be that I'm a toxic POS.
No. That ain't me.
I'm so cute and nice, though.
Oh, water is not auto death. I legit actually forgot that. I'm so used to, 6-inch deep water being automatic death in NES games that I just assumed
Oh,
that
no!
was the case.
My shoes got wet. These cost me a fortune. Well, not actually a fortune. More like $25 at, shoe store.
So,
But my mom will kill me!
So, guys, I realized I missed an opportunity when I did the video on the centaur, and I got to go into like some of the history on the centaur. I realized that there was a joke to be made. Are you guys ready?
Oh.
Okay, guys. What did the centaur want to name his daughter? He wanted to name her Mayo. And the reason is because Mayo neighs.
Your Honor, Snek plays League of Legends. Yeah.
Why do you wish hatred on me? I don't think I deserve that.
I don't wish hatred on you, just, that was awful.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying I missed the opportunity. The dad joke was right there in front of me. Literally a dad joke.
I'll say this, that's the reason why I got you the game I did, because, you're one of the few people that can, that doesn't kind of go cross-eyed whenever I start talking about mythology, so...
Because we're on the same level of autism, so you're just like, Snek, did you know that there was an ancient deity who was the deity of butts? And I'd be like, is that right? And you're like, yes. Master Calipigius the 13th, and he was revered as deity of the booty, and I'm just like, that's fascinating, tell me more.
Okay, her actual name was Aphrodite Calipigios. You must know.
I'm just like, that's fascinating. Thank you for telling me this. My life is made better with this knowledge. Also, this level is inspired by Poltergeist.
I never would have gotten...
You guys noticed the subtle references here.
I don't think I would have gotten that.
I see dead people.
That's
Wait,
the Sixth Sense.
I didn't really like Sixth Sense. Goon in your pants.
Just saying, Shyamalan was never good.
Oh, okay, I got one. I got a spicy take.
Alright, do tell.
Alright, Saturday Night Live hasn't been good since the Lonely Island stopped doing stuff for them.
That's true facts.
And that was the only good part of that Saturday Night Live while we were on.
Did I just get back to
Well, no.
the stage?
Actually, no, I lie. Because the What Up With That segments were actually pretty funny too, now that I think about it. Especially considering they basically openly mocked Al Gore, who definitely deserves.
Guys,
Don't you love teleporter puzzles?
Oh yes, it's definitely not lazy at all. I love how not lazy this feels. I love how it doesn't feel like the game dev just gave up on ideas. It's definitely not what it feels like at all.
I don't know what you're talking about, Snek. This is a totally original idea.
Okay, Noodle. Come on, you gotta have some hot takes too.
Yeah, I can't think of any hot takes that I would have that would, get Snek pipe bombs in the mail to them.
No, knowing my fans who are way, way, way more on my wavelength, they would send me something much more annoying. They would send me, like, printed out fan art of Homestuck characters or something.
Okay, well...
And I would just be like, man, I prefer a pipe bomb, honestly. At least then my suffering would be brief.
Homestuck is not good. Homestuck is never good. That is definitely... I don't know why people like Homestuck. I don't know why that was ever a thing. Just...
Sweet Pro and Hello Jeff was good, though.
That's true.
I can't wait to be a useless piece of S and to play all these video games. You gotta be careful about the stairs, bro! Oh no, I'm falling down the stairs. Get the stairs, bro! I told you, dog! He keeps having it.
Poor Clockwork. We knew him well.
You know, I'll say this about Clockwork. He takes it in good humor.
He does. And I appreciate that about him.
Oh, I got another one. Exalted 3rd edition on the whole is not as good as 2nd edition was.
Yeah.
I mean, especially...
They could have just done an official release with 2.5 edition with all the changes that they did to that, released an updated core rulebook for that, and then kept going with that.
So, this boss is multi-bodied, and the entire idea is one of them takes damage, and the others have no hitbox. That is why he asks you which one. So you can basically...
How do you know which one?
You hit them. Because only the real one can hurt you, and you can only hurt the real one.
That is really annoying.
Yes.
That sounds really annoying. And
also, I think his AI is specifically designed to just move kind of at random, and it'll pick a spot in the room and just go there. And sometimes that spot is you, but more often than not, it's just like a random spot somewhere on the map. Like, see, 4 moves in a row. He literally just moved like less than an inch. And it's like, bruh, what are you doing? What are you even accomplishing over there? And now I've taken enough damage.
Clearly he's not trying to attack you, because, well, let's just say he would not be Baby Poogum's friend.
No, indeed not.
There's no level of efficiency going on here.
Indeed not. Yeah, no,
it's almost like, you know, it's almost like he's trying to avoid getting attacked by a random home invader. Seriously, these guys are doing nothing wrong.
We're going with that, then?
I have seen nothing to contradict my theory that Bert is in fact a serial killer. And
okay.
Like,
all right. If we don't actually get to the ending, we're gonna have to show Noodle the ending just so he sees.
So he understands just how weird this gets.
Yes. Also, yeah, he can kind of see how insane Bert is. Because they're like, oh, you know, I want to say something, but I mean, you kind of have to experience it for yourself.
It's difficult to describe on a good day, and...
Okay, let's put it this way. I was introduced to this game by a website which I'm not sure exists anymore, called Bogleach, which is basically just a bunch of weird autists who like monsters.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
No, I mean, I was like, when I was a teenager, and I'm like, I am an autist. I like monsters. Honestly, it's because of that, and because of them, that I learned more about demi-kids, and thanks to that, I got into Megaten. So, thank you, Professor, and thank you, Bogleach, for that. Also, because of Bogleach, I learned about Cho Aniki, so, well...
That's an important part of life.
Yeah, sure. I mean, even as a fan of the series, I have to go, I don't know about that. Okay.
Let's not get carried away now.
But yeah. And so they actually had a description in some of the sprites of the game, and they had a text description of the ending, and I'm like, no way, that isn't actually what happened. And so I had to look up on early YouTube to see if they were telling the truth, and no, they were. If anything, actually, they were not really going into quite all the detail. And I'll tell you something else there, Professor.
What's that?
They had a number of different, like, games with very strange monsters in it, things.
Alright.
And part of the reason why Ultra 7 is my man, he is the G amongst the Ultra Brothers, was because one of the very first games they reviewed was the Ultra 7 SNES game.
Oh, Lord. A game that was impenetrable and very difficult to understand.
It took Arino 2 episodes to beat it,
Yes.
even though he literally is like, yeah, I saw this show when I was like 6. Like, oh yes, the show with the mind control cigarettes and the children being killed by their adults being killed by their hyped up children with laser guns. This is definitely kid friendly entertainment.
But of course. There you go. If we keep building bigger bombs, eventually we'll wipe out those bothersome Alamals that we accidentally riled up with our bombs.
Well, maybe the Alamals should stop trying to invade Earth. You ever think about that?
I mean, fair point, but we actually blew them up first on that one.
Well, there's no reason to defend Earth from Alamals if the Alamals get blown up first. That's just,
fair point.
class of self-defense.
Yeah.
Fair point. I cannot deny that. If the Alamals would stop invading us, we would not have as many issues as we do.
Well, the Baltons would definitely not get genocided so much, that's for sure.
Dear Alamals, if you wanted to live, why were you not born here?
Or at the very least, born as green space babies.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing in the Marvel comic that you sent me there, Professor, where it's like Galactus is there, and he's like, why are you trying to save these people, Ultraman? And I'm like, oh, Galactus, this is going to go very poorly for you. This is going to go extremely poorly.
You think you're the baddest thing in this galaxy, but you don't know what you're up against right now.
Weird, big spandex guy. You are like the bog standard of what these guys fight. You are going to get thrown through a mountain.
On a good day, you're going to get your butt kicked. On a not-so-good day, you're going to get decapitated.
Decapitated and then thrown into space, at which point you'll blow up.
And then they'll be like, oh, sorry about that. Now we'll hold a Buddhist funeral for you, because we feel a little bad about it. But only a little. That's what you get for not being born a human.
Oh no, Geronimon brought Galactus back from the dead! 50 Galactuses, and they're all attacking the Science Patrol!
And then, like a single Ultra shows up and becomes the Ultraman equivalent of one Ranger, one Riot.
I was thinking about, it's like all they need is Ultraman Zero. That's all they would need.
He's just like, hey guys, what's up? Zero here. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill you all. What? Yeah, I'm gonna straight up like murk all of you.
I have zero chill. Well, why don't you have zero chill? Because my dad never forgave me for the fact that I literally let loose Space Satan.
Space Satan got loose, Dad was mad. Then I had to help this dude who's actually like super cool, but I had to give him a hard time because I'm older than him.
And yet he was married and had a children, and I did not. And it was like, you leave my children alone. And he was like, that's my children. And I'm like, hey, I could have a children if I wanted to.
I could. Just haven't yet. I haven't met a woman of a high enough caliber. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Although, I think he has now, because isn't Zet his,
no.
his babby?
No. Zet is his student. Zet very much wants to be his student and refers to him as Master Zero. Zet, we don't know Zet's canon parents, but we do know that Ace is his godfather.
Dear
Christianity.
listener, no idea either.
Okay,
I
so
also am not as much of a nerd as these two.
TLDR, giant Catholic space aliens. No,
know
I
what?
am not.
I can dig it.
I am not joking. And there's a thing. There's a recurring theme over the fact that these evil aliens who come from I come from planet Golgotha, and they're like,
No, nothing lives on planet Golgotha. Planet Golgotha.
well,
is the
okay,
planet
it's like
that's near
I literally
absolute
come from
zero.
planet Gehenna. I'm from space, hell. And they're like, this guy seems nice. Just kidding. I am one of the space Satans. Oh no! And I'm going to crucify you, Ultraman. No, this guy seems nice.
Okay, Noodle. Think of it like this. I want you to stop me if this sounds a little familiar, because the Ultras come from a place known as the Land of Light. It is a glorious city ruled by an all-powerful king who once died, but don't worry, he got better a little bit later. And their biggest villain is this entity known as Belial, who used to be a good Ultra, who decided he wanted to be a bad Ultra because of his pride, and went off
His
to
pride,
make,
and he coveted. He was too proud and coveted the station and the wife of the big guy who was in charge.
No, second in command of the guy in charge, technically. Father of Ultra is like the right-hand man of Ultraman King. Yeah, he was hot.
Mhm.
Also, the mother of Ultra's name is Marie.
Okay, so yes, Japanese space Catholics. Okay.
Yes.
Do I need to go into the fact that the producer of this series, who also actually was a special effects artist for the original Godzilla, was very deeply Catholic? Did I need to say that? Because that was definitely a thing, and
That was
even
definitely not obvious by everything.
Yes, it was very subtle.
And the cool thing is even though he's been dead for a while, and actually this show is so old that actually his son, who was in charge of it for a good while, has actually sadly passed away. They pretty much retained it. It's just kind of been baked into the DNA of what makes Ultraman Ultraman, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and the Ultras have been lured to planet Golgotha, which is a planet that is near absolute zero, by the way, which is really bad for Ultras. Ultras are powered by light, you see, so light is warm, right? Light is energy, kinetic. It's active. So Ultra's weakness is cold and dark. And so Golgotha is a dark planet that has no sun, that is borderline absolute zero. And aliens have lured several Ultras there to crucify them in order to get them out of their way. And one of the Ultras who is really good at reviving fallen Ultras is Mother of Ultra, also known as Marie, who basically goes around just helping randomly and then just kind of disappearing because she's a lover, not a fighter.
And let me tell you, it kind of is one of those awkward feelings when you know the backstory for the original Mother of Ultra suit, which was
Ultraman 66 with pigtails put on it.
pigtails, and they gave her...
It was a male actor in the suit, and they didn't want to confuse little children, so they didn't credit the suit actor for that episode.
They gave the actor they gave him a butt and some pretty sizable bosoms, shall we say. It's very clear Mother of Ultra is female.
Yeah. They did better with, Ultra Woman Grigio, where it was actually a woman in the suit. So, progress.
But I mean, she still kind of has the entire, I'm a white mage thing, which is funny because every white mage I've ever seen in any MMO is, the most bloodthirsty member of the team. And yet Grigio is not like that at all.
Grigio's pretty easygoing. It's her brothers who are kind of hard to rein in. But I don't think that's part of their dynamic. RB is really, really good.
But, Oh, by the way, another thing that's really important and has basically been a thing since the beginning. Their finishing move. You know how the Kamen Riders have their Kamen Rider kick?
Yes.
The Ultraman's finishing move is the Ultra Beam. And you know how you do it? You'd have one hand, you have one arm that goes up, and then you cross it with another arm that goes horizontally.
You literally
shoots a
cross
beam.
yourself.
Yes. You make the
cross
side of the
yourself
cross.
And you get
shoots-
magic powers that destroy very weirdly demon-looking Alamaus.
Well, I mean, one of his recurring villains is literally called Alien Mephistopheles, so...
Yeah. And, Ultraman Belial is kind of on the nose, too.
I mean, he's so evil he talks in theaters when a movie is going on. That's pretty darn evil.
Yes, that's canon, by the way.
That is pretty evil, I have to say.
I've tried different doors. This one hasn't working out for me.
They have little, PSAs of, hey, don't turn on your cell phone, don't talk during the movie, And it's literally all Belial doing these things.
He gets into the theater, kicks his feet up on the seat in front of him, and starts loudly talking on his cell phone. And the other Ultras in the theater just all cross their arms and blast him at the same time.
As one should to anyone who talks in a movie theater.
Amen to that, brother.
Of course, I haven't been to a movie theater since...
The incident.
Well before the incident.
What incidents are you referring to?
He just paused, and I just was like, I have to fill in the sentence now. So like, not since. The incident.
Not since the war.
Oh, I thought when you were saying the incident, you were referring to an unspecified virus, unknown origins.
Oh, no, I was just like, some weird noodle incident, because you're a noodle.
Well, yes, any incident that I'm involved in is, by definition, a noodle incident.
Correct.
God, I can't remember when was the last time that I went... What was the last thing I saw in theaters?
Was it Deadpool? No, I'm pretty sure you saw things after... Oh, wait, no, was it Warcraft? Were you there when
I think it was Warcraft.
Poogum Dad and I...
Yeah.
We took him to go see Warcraft, because he's never played any of the games. He never played World of Warcraft. And yet he turns to Noodle and I and he goes, I'd really like to see this Warcraft film. So for his birthday, we took him to see Warcraft in theaters. He really seemed to enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah, that was the last thing I saw in theaters.
And we had to explain to him, Dad, this is the first of 4 games. There's a lot more story after this.
Yeah. Noodle, did I ever recount to you the time I actually played World of Warcraft?
No, you did not.
So, I had a coworker at an older job, and I was like, yeah, no, WoW wasn't my jam, and I played it back in college very briefly, I didn't like it. And my coworker's like, that's not fair, you haven't played it in, its newer incarnation. So you need to try it before you knock it. And I was like, you know what? Absolutely fair. You are correct. That is a fair statement. So I downloaded the demo, which lets you go up to level 20. And then I played it. I made a female Pandaren hunter, and was just like, you know what? I'm a thick girl with guns. This is basically Snek's fantasy made manifest, so I'm pretty okay with this. And I played through, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. It's not monthly subscription fun. And I didn't do anything like hardcore raid scene or anything like that, because I don't hate myself that much. And then,
I think the only time you and I have ever done a hardcore raid scene was when we were playing 14.
Yep. And we did Knights of the Round Extreme, which is why
We did a couple.
That was the one I remember the most because that's Sue's title is Mythbreaker because of that. And that's like the one I'm most proud of is Mythbreaker.
We did Alexander Extreme.
Oh, that's right. We did Alexander Unsynced, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Alexander Extreme Unsynced. We also did some of Bahamut Extreme Unsynced because we don't hate ourselves
that much.
But yeah, we did a few of them. I don't think we did any of the. I don't think we did any of the Saint Beasts.
No, we talked about it, but I don't think we ever did.
Man, I just was not ready to fall into Suzaku's flaming hole. And that always would happen to Clockwork.
And usually the funny thing is, like, he'd be the one to warn us about it, and then it would happen to him. And we're just like...
Yeah, the funny thing is he's like, okay guys, be careful about the hole. And then she starts complaining about like, oh Yohei, I miss you so much. Clock looks like I'm going for it, and he throws herself into her flaming hole.
Guys, I don't think I can do it. The stupid teleporter maze, I think, has finally beaten me. And now, I have beaten this game. I don't remember how I got through this level. I might have actually consulted a guide for a map. But that is Monster Party. I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, but we are gonna have to show Noodle the ending because
no, definitely he needs to see
it. As that one guy in Dirty Harry says, I needs to know.
He does. And we will do that off camera, because you guys should play this game for yourself. Like, go on Twitter and tell Bandai, like, hey, hashtag Monster Party HD remake, do it.
And then they're, looking up from their billions of Neptunia money and going, Monster what now?
Yeah.
Monster Party? I don't think we made Pokemon.
I don't remember that. Anyway.
Is that a Digimon game that we're not...
that we don't remember having made? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me this very evening. This was a good deal of fun, even though by the end I was completely checked out mentally. Just like, I hate teleporter mazes, they're such unfun. It's garbage.
Don't worry, Snek. We'll get you to 0 subs soon enough.
I know, right? We'll make it happen. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one.